Well, pop media chatterboxes blast us with useless non-stories about political celebrity name-calling, all sound and fury signifying nothing, as Macbeth said. Power-hungry gun grabbers have quietly set up their chess pieces with a bill virtually no pop media outlet has investigated. It's called S2449, and it's from Democrat Cory Spartacus Booker and his pal Richard Hero Blumenthal. Greetings, fellow nonconformists. I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRCTV. Indeed, the collectivists are making their anti-rights move, and the dinosaurs wasting time in the pop media are, as Sherlock Holmes once said, the dogs that aren't barking. Well, it's time for somebody to bark while we still can. On September 10th, New Jersey Democrat Senator Cory Booker introduced for his pal, Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal, S2449, the Federal Firearms Licensing Act, which is now working through the Judiciary Committee. Now, you didn't hear about this in the pop news? Well, first of all, it will breach the fundamental right to keep and bear arms by mandating that anyone wanting to legally buy, sell, trade, or inherit a gun get a federal firearms license. And what's needed to get this magical license? Well, the U.S. Attorney General will establish the system for said permission slips based on a number of S2449 mandates that further attack even more rights. Indeed, first of all, if you want a license from your politician masters, you have to comply to a federally decided training program, which itself requires a written test and a hands-on demonstration in the face of your government master agent. And of course, that opens up a whole new door to cronyist systems to decide which company will be the one that administers the test. Then there's the background check, which not only requires proof of identity and fingerprints, it contains two other dangerous anti-rights requirements. First, it creates a list of ambiguous anti-privacy, anti-Fourth Amendment categories that any one of which the Attorney General can choose as a reason to deny you your God-given right to self-defense. And here is the list, which I'll read, and it only takes about 20 seconds to soak up this information. Denial. 1. In general, the Attorney General may deny a license under this section if the Attorney General determines that the applicant poses a significant danger of bodily injury to self or others by possessing, purchasing, or receiving a firearm after examining factors the Attorney General considers are relevant to the determination, including, and by the way, that is in addition to what he also might add to it, A, history of threats or acts of violence towards self or others, B, history of use, attempted use, or threatened use of physical force by the applicant against another. C, whether the applicant is the subject of or has violated a domestic violence or stalking restraining order or protection order. D, any prior arrest, pending charge, or conviction for a violent or serious crime or disorderly persons offense, stalking offense, or domestic violence offense. E, any prior arrest, pending charge, or conviction for an offense involving cruelty to animals. F, history of drug or alcohol abuse or involvement in drug trafficking. G, any recent acquisition of firearms, ammunition, or other deadly weapons. And H, involvement in firearms trafficking or unlawful firearms transfers. And II, history of unsafe storage or handling of firearms. Bear in mind, every one of those is a standard to be determined by the Attorney General. The history of threats or acts of violence towards others can be as harsh as a murder conviction or as simple as a simple report of arguing with a neighbor on the street 50 years earlier. Even without prosecution, if you've been reported, it's red meat for the Attorney General of the United States to deny you your right to self-defense. self-defense. The attempted use of physical force also doesn't single out aggressive versus defensive force, nor does it require a conviction for felonious assault or battery. Disorderly persons? Well, that leaves virtually any innocent person open to arbitrary, on-the-spot police manipulation as they decide what is disorderly. Unsafe storage? Who decides that? This is such an odious and obvious attack on the Fourth Amendment, it is utterly shameful. But the key here is that S2449 requires separate licenses for every gun, and the licenses last only 5 years. Then you have to go through the whole process all over again, and you have to wait up to 30 days before you can get permission from the great government overlords to get your gun. So good luck, ladies, if you feel that you're being threatened and you know those flimsy pieces of paper known as restraining orders won't protect you at all. Oh, and if you've ever chatted with a therapist or had sleep problems, watch out, because the Attorney General can deny you for that too. Not only is S2449 a clear infringement of the Second Amendment and the deeper inherent right to self-defense, not only is it a threat that armed agents of the state will attack you if you do not disarm or live by their commands. S2449 is a gun registration bill. It requires that every legal gun, and keep the dangers of that term in mind, have a license, and every license have the serial number of the gun connected to it. This is nationwide gun registration, no different from what Adolf Hitler employed to target gun owners and disarm them after the Weimar government created the registry, leading to you know what happened in Germany. You know what? There's another powerful Shakespeare quote that comes to mind from Richard II. When Richard II has vacillated and wasted time before he actually acted, he sits in a tower looking over the kingdom he has lost, and he said, "I wasted time, and now time doth waste me." Let's not waste any time. Let's sound the alarm about our rights being attacked by these frivolous, nonsensical collectivists who would look at us as if we are simply pawns in their giant political schemes. Thank you so much for watching. Please spread the word about these particular items and this information, and visit MRCTV.org. That's MRCTV.org. We love to refer people to the website to find out all of the things that the entire team at MRCTV are doing. Thanks so much for being on our side. For MRCTV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.